Minasan, konnichiwa. Today's first clip is from a fun Japanese comedy show called Enta no Kami-sama. Basically, a bunch of comedians go up on a stage and do performances in front of an audience. And let me pause that there. The one here in the bottom right is called Jinnai Tomonori, and he's pretty famous, well-known in Japan. And here he's doing, I guess you would call a skit, where he's doing a parody of a popular Nintendo DS game called, as it translates to in English, Brain Age, where basically you do a bunch of exercises to train your brain. And you might actually know it since it was a fairly well-known game around 10 years ago. So anyway, let's take a look at this. Okay, so the exercise at hand here is the Japanese version of rock, paper, scissors, which is called janken. And I subtitled the next few seconds here where they explain the rules, so if we just play this a little. Okay, so basically you'll be shown on the screen a picture of gu, choki, or pa, rock, scissors, or paper, and you're also going to be asked, please win, or please lose, or something like that. And the relevant vocab here, if you don't know, is katsu is to win, and makeru is to lose. So let's just jump into this and see how we do. Okay, so this is just the practice. Katte kudasai. So what would you do to win? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this sentence uses higher level JLPT N2 level grammar, where this kara to itte here means just because something. So this entire sentence means just because you won, you don't need to get all full of yourself. And obviously that's just meant to be funny here. So then we move on now to the honban, the real thing. And you'll see things are about to get more complicated. さあ、行きましょう。Okay, 勝たないでください. So think about this one. Be careful. 3, 2, 1. So both choki and gu here are correct, since technically if you play a gu, you make it a draw, and by doing that you still don't win. So you're still technically fulfilling the condition. Alright. 負けないでください. 3, 2, 1. チョキとパー. Again, both of them here are correct for the same reason. And so here's the hardest one. This one really makes your brain spin. So pause the video until you think you know the answer, and then we'll go through the explanation. So pause now. Okay, so the causative of makeru, makesaseru, is being used here in combination with te agete kudasai. So this literally means do your opponent the favor of letting them lose. So how would you let your opponent lose? Well, that's basically the same thing as winning, right? So what would you do to win? You would play what? A choki. Choki. Okay, so in this last slide here is it's making a pun off of the fact that katsu, to win, and kau, to own a pet, have the same reading in te form, meaning that if you write katte kudasai, it could mean either please win or please adopt this pet, which is what he's making fun of here. Alright, so that was the first clip. I have another challenging exercise on causative form here, so let's take a look at that. So this is from a quiz show, and in this game, contestants need to guess what percentage of a certain group of people does something. So like, for example, a question could be, what percentage of men in their 30s drink beer more than once a week? And you would need to guess the percentage as a contestant. Here in this question, if you look at this black text, the group being asked is 中高生の子がいる親, parents that have a kid in middle or high school. And the question itself, I have actually blanked out since the announcer is about to read the question out loud, and I want you all to try and listen to it first. So let's play this.
子供にスマートフォンを持たせるのは高校生になってからという人は何%?
Alright, were you able to catch the causative? Let's try and listen to this one more time.
子供にスマートフォンを持たせるのは高校生になってからという人は何%?
So here in the first part, we have the causative structure with motaseru. And as you probably know, there is a type of causative where you force someone to do something and a type of causative where you let someone do something. So which one is it in this case? And if you think about it, would a parent force their kid to have a phone? Probably not. So 子供にスマートフォンを持たせる is letting a kid have a smartphone. Then in the second half of the sentence, you can see 高校生になってから, which uses the てから grammar pattern to mean once the kid becomes a high schooler. And then after all this, you have という人は何%? So basically, what percentage of people say they let their kid have a smartphone from high school on? And that's the question. One very interesting detail here that some of you may be wondering about is what is this no wa thing in the middle here that makes the sentence structure look kind of weird. This is something that you see a lot, but it's kind of hard to wrap your head around if you're not too familiar with it yet. It's what we call a cleft sentence in linguistics, and there's a lot of explanation to it that I want to say for another video, but to just briefly explain it here, it's a rearranged version of a sentence used whenever the speaker sort of wants to put more emphasis on whatever comes after the no wa. So this sentence here really stresses what percentage of parents said that it's from high school on that they let their kids have smartphones. But anyway, back to guessing the answer to the actual question. 何%でしょうか? Make your guess and let's see. So this guy predicts 63%. And if we speed this up a little since the announcer goes on for a while, the real answer is 69%. I would have actually thought it would be a little bit less since I thought more parents were giving their kids smartphones earlier on in middle school and stuff, but anyway, that's it. 皆さんお疲れ様です。If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I post additional listening examples pretty much every day. And make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want more Japanese learning and practice through TV, JLPT, for your JLPT exam. じゃあ、またね